Good afternoon. Can I have some good afternoon from you guys as back? I'll say good afternoon again. Yeah, thank you. I understand this is a post-lunch session. It is difficult for all of us. It's difficult for me even. So I will not take much time. I have few crisp points, crisp and clear points, 3 or 4 crisp or clear points, and then I'll cut short my presentation here. So I'm Captain Ramandeep Singh. I am a chemical engineer. I've done my MBA finance from FMS. I've served in 801 RNP TA. I've deliberately used this casual pic here to show you our state-of-art Haldia refinery situated on the confluence of Hooghly River. And this is a great place to be. We encourage all our stakeholders to come visit us at any point of time and see what all state-of-art technologies and processes we are following here. So, throughout the day, we have been talking about sustainability, environment, and all the best practices. I would again say, what is the main drive here? Is it something, the buzzword, a compliance, or the businesses don't want to be left back on this? Or is it the next global business destruction in the upcoming next decade? Because this is the reality. 4 out of 9 planetary boundaries we have already crossed. Okay, so this is not a gimmick which has been taught in our classroom or NCERT textbook that this is just coming. We have to do it as per a duty. And where we can see this is how the world is reacting and what is the India strategy. So you see, most of the world is going net zero by 2050. And in November 21, our Honorable Prime Minister had committed that India will be net zero by 2070. Now, here is one interesting point. Throughout the day, we have been listening about electric vehicles, and there is a gradual, or I would say even a very fast transition to electric vehicles and electrolyzation. But still, what is the reason that we are still committing 2070 and not 2050? Because net zero cannot be understood just on the transportation front. It is the whole energy conundrum. Until and unless we understand that where is this energy coming on, we are just pushing pollution from our organization to somebody else. So when we say the electric vehicles are cheaper, they are more efficient, so we have to understand where is that electricity coming from. If we have to put more thermal power plants, let us say in Kolaghat, to get energy for all those electric vehicles, so our carbon per kilometer will be even much higher. When we say rupees per kilometer, electric is cheap, we have to see it from the environment point of view. Carbon plus per kilometer, is it really cheap? Okay. So, everybody is cutting their emissions and pollutions, and India is just starting to, take leaps and bounds in the development. We aspire to become a developed nation by 2050. But what it is going to have is our per capita CO2 emissions are going to increase as we increase our per capita GDP. So when we say that, okay, as a strategy, we need to get developed and we have pushed our net zero target by 2070 instead of 2050, will it work? This is all the investment community, and this is the size of all the investors. This is $35 trillion. As India, we want to become a $5 trillion economy. Now, all those investors are committing to sustainable finance. If India is not able to get to net zero by 2050, we will not be getting very cheap finances. it is going to impact our business. So this is a push mechanism we have to understand, and then there is a pull mechanism. In the sustainability, if we see, our customers are also ready to pay more if we are able to demonstrate and establish that we are more sustainable. So, given all that background, as an oil and gas company, Indian Oil has committed net zero target for its operational emissions by 2046. Now, this is a very interesting point. Like a transportation, you can always outsource it to maybe a thermal power plant or maybe some other thing. But as an Indian Oil and an oil and gas company, we are going net zero by 2046. It is 100 years of India's independence. So, one of those ways of, let us say, 8 ways of going net zero is our green products. Okay. And since this is a transport seminar, I'll be talking about 2 green products here. And as an oil and gas company and as an Indian Oil, we talk about the country level. Because we believe that if we have to have less of a pollution and not outsource it from, let us say, a city to a coal plant in Jharkhand or someplace else, we have to actually think about efficiency and our carbon emissions per kilometer. Okay. So, we have come up with a new technology, which is an extra green diesel. Typically, our diesel is 51 cetane. This is a 55 cetane diesel. It has a better corrosion, and why is it that? It has a better corrosion protection and superior lubricity. So, what is the science behind it? Our cetane or our diesel, the higher cetane number will give us more energy. And as per a chemical engineering or a mechanical concept, we understand that every engine will have an efficiency of around 40%. And if we are able to, that is an ideal case. That's as per the Carnot cycle. But we are typically able to get only 20%. So how we are trying to, we are creating better fuels that will give us more energy and in turn give us more kilometers per liter. So basically we are increasing the lubricity, we are increasing the cetane number, it is giving better fuel economy, more power, less of smoke and odor, and less of coke and deposits. Now, not just green diesel, what happens is typically our diesel engines are, all the lubricants for our diesel engines are designed for a cetane number of, let us say, 51, because that is the BIS standard. Now, when we have increased our cetane number from 51 to 55, we also get an opportunity to work on the lubricity. So now we have come up with a new brand of lubricating oils, which is extra green, extra mild servo, which is going to give us better lubricity for high cetane fuels. Now, it was power, it was additional lubricity, and the third, why? So you can see this is a NACE test. NACE is a UK accredited laboratory in Mumbai. What we have done is, there is a normal diesel. Now the problem with transport sector and diesel is that the fuel, before it gets burned, it is going to have a lot of transaction with air and water. And what we do is, we always paint the vehicle from outside and not inside. Wherever there is a fuel container and then there are injection nozzle, it is going inside the diesel. So there is a lot of corrosion and which reduces a lot of efficiency of buses, trucks and any transport vehicle. So what we see here is that there are different, this is a normal diesel, which you can see, the base diesel. And then we have differentiated diesel. So these are the results not done by us, by a third party. So we have a patent for this technology. Now, this is ICAT. ICAT is a government lab for all the automobile testing. We have only 3 government labs in India, and this is one of them. So we had sent our differentiated extra green diesel to their center, and then they had done their testing. What they found out was that our mileages, which was from 6.14, it has increased to 6.42, which is around 5 to 6% increase in our mileage. So this is the real value we are getting, keeping the business as usual. We are not going for a new vehicle. There is no capital cost, nothing. The product is available. It is just a phone call away. Now, the second scenario, apart from diesel, we have also introduced the Servo Extra Green lubricating oils, which are for high cetane diesels. And we can get an increase in efficiency up to 9 to 10%. Without doing anything, without having no new buses, nothing. And this is the reason why. That is the normal diesel. Before the testing, we had cleaned all the injection points. And after the test, we took out all the injection points, and you can see what happens in the differentiated diesel and what happens in the normal diesel. And the reason for a lower efficiency. This is inside the engine, not outside. You can always clean the vehicle from outside, but this is what is inside, and which is causing the low efficiency. We have got third-party certifications. A lot of roadways are using it. This is again applicable for construction equipments as well. Generators. We have done customer certifications we have got. This is again fisheries. There is a Central Institute of Fishery Technology who has done tested. They found out that in the idling condition, the efficiency was even 33% higher, but we are still considering it on the whole 7%. Okay. We even published it in the papers also. In the mining industry, again, customer satisfaction. The customers have given this. It is not us, not even the third party. Now the end users have experienced this. Finally, this is again all the customers, their feedback, their review, and the efficiencies which they have got. Now coming to just a ballpoint figure, what is the impact on the economy? Okay, this is nothing because it is such a big country. We have like 97 lakh vehicles. If there is just 10% reduction, so we have around 81,000 crores impact. Just understand that, increasing the efficiency is a very important factor. And then now let us understand what is the carbon footprint here. You see, 1 kiloliter, that is 1,000 liters, will have a CO2 emission of 2640 kgs with normal diesel. And if you have extra clean, it is 2508, around 130 kgs. If we convert it into trees equivalent, so you see, one truck which is running, let us say 200 kilometers a day for 330 days in a year is going to save 116 trees. If you would own just one truck and convert it into extra green diesel, you are going to put up 116 trees. Just imagine the landscape. So, only 3 crisp points. Sustainability, we have to think that where is the carbon per kilometer, how we are getting it as a country, and then what are the solutions available by increasing efficiencies. And finally, it is also financially good for the users. Let us say our cost is just coming 3 rupees, and if it is giving you, let us say 7 to 8%, 95 rupees diesel, if it is giving you 7 to 8 rupees, it is also economically benefit for the customers. But as Indian Oil, we have to keep separate tanks, we have to keep separate facilities. But since our motto is Pehle Indian, Fir Oil, we have to do it for the country. We have our own net zero target by 2046. So that is why we are here to encourage you to adopt these new technologies, green diesel, higher efficiency fuels for an existing fleet. You don't have to go into a financing mode to get new sort loans for EVs or anything. It is just a phone call away, and just it is going to transform at least 5 to 10% of the present fuel economy. Thanks a lot.